December 5th, and I'm heading back out east to get another crack at these whitetail. They're a little smarter than I am. I'm heading back out to the spot I was in early November, and I'm curious to see if the corn is still standing and if the fields are still green. I think it's a winter wheat or something like that planted. If the corn is still standing, I think that's the key, because I don't know of a deer that doesn't like corn. Today I intend to get a stand hung up in the tree, and I haven't hung this particular stand before, so I'm going to take my time and be safe with it. If I have some time after that, I'm going to go walk around and see what I see, but I'm for sure going to spend the last 2, maybe 3 hours of legal light up in that stand, and hopefully I'm high enough so that I can have a good vantage point, and if I don't get a crack at a deer, then maybe at least I'll see deer and glean a little more information. Let's see how she goes.
It took me forever to get this stand set up, and so I didn't get a chance to walk around. I did get to do a little extra walking though, because when I started to put my sticks up, I realized I'm not wearing my harness. So 7-8 minute walk back to the car, fiddle with that. It was tangled, I couldn't get it on. Come back out, and it took me forever to get up this tree. So it's about 3:10 right now, and I've got just a shade under 2 hours of legal light left. Here's my view over here. I've got a hayfield over here, and the corn is cut, but the fields are green. The morning that wounded doe went by me, I was right over there, and she came down this trail that goes around the fence. And the night the 2 does slipped past me, they came through this area right here. So if I was sitting here, I would have had shots both times. You can see the trail right there. Well, I'm at the camp for the night, and tonight it's supposed to dip in the low 20s, and the next 2 nights it's supposed to be in the teens, so it's a little cold out. I've got my other 2.5 gallon thing of water in a cooler, not to keep it cold, but to try to keep it from freezing. And if I remember, I'll pull it out into the sunlight during the day when the car's in the sun, and I got a little greenhouse effect going. Try to get the water up to, room temperature or something. That way when I put it back in the cooler tomorrow night, it should be good all night.
It's the morning of December 6th, and I'm taking my 20-mile jaunt up the road. I think what I'm going to do, instead of sit in my stand like I had planned, I think I'm going to jump in the riverbed, which is about 6 feet wide, and I'm going to walk out in the dark up the riverbed and get to the far west side of the property and overlook these green fields and see if, when the sun rises, the deer aren't coming off those fields. And if they come southeast, I should be able to make a good move. I'd like to see one and fail than to not see one at all. Stay tuned. Well, I didn't see anything this morning, and that kind of surprises me. I haven't seen any deer, muley or whitetail. I just would have thought that I would have at least glimpsed a deer by now. I thought I've had pretty good setups. But I did see a coyote, and I don't know how the footage turned out, but let's show that right here.
I got him.
Now I mean to tell you what, when that 280 hit him, that joker flipped on his back and all four legs stuck up like a cockroach. So I haven't seen the footage. Hopefully it's half decent. But I ranged it after the fact and he was 199. As he was coming up, he actually came up a trail that I thought deer might come up. And so I did a rangefinder on a piece of terrain next to that, and he just kept kind of going away from me. I finally got him to stop, and he was 199. So I zeroed at 200 with this rifle. So I just held dead on. I was prone, unsupported, and I was able to hold probably about a 3 or 4 inch wiggle. Went down like a rock. Not exactly sure what my next move is. I kind of walked the length of this property this morning on the way back, and I found a couple of good spots that overlook some trails that might be a spot to get set up on. Brian's going to be out here. He's going to join me at the campsite Friday night, and we're going to hunt Saturday. I don't know what our plan is for that. If we're here, then I'd like to cover up 2 spots, especially if I haven't filled my tag yet. And I just feel like if we can sit out here, we might have a good shot. There's a lot of nooks and crannies out here that you just can't see. You don't notice it until you start walking, and then all of a sudden you realize the ground dips down 4 feet. Well, a trail on that, deer just will go right down it, and you'll never see them. So there's a lot of little nooks and crannies here that one person just can't cover. You know, it would probably take 4 or 5 people across this, it's about a mile back, to cover this area between the fields and the river bottom and have most of the good crossings covered up. There's a chunk in the middle where it looks like they don't cross at all because it's kind of open. So stick to the wooded areas that come right up to the riverbed, and that's where it looks like they're crossing. So, but right now it's coffee time, and one of the better instant coffees I've found is just this Taster's Choice, but it's the purple box, the purple label. Their red label is kind of their normal roast. This one's a little darker. It's like a medium dark, and it's the purple. I've also seen some turkeys. When I just came back, there were some that weren't 20 yards from the car here. They're actually in this parking area. A couple of them were nice looking jakes that'll probably be nice young toms come the spring. Well, I haven't seen any deer. I walked almost 5 miles today in some areas I thought might be alternate bedding spots if the river bottom was too pressured. I think I found what I'm looking for. I hear this particular kind of deer is really good eating. But I didn't even jump a mule deer. I didn't jump a jackrabbit. I didn't jump a cottontail. And I have not seen a deer at all. Whitetail, muley, buck, doe, nothing. I saw 2 coyotes, and I popped that one. And the second one I saw, he was on his horse and moving. So I'm gonna have to think long and hard about where I'm going in the morning. I'm not real familiar with any other spot, and just the way some of the other ones are laid out, I'm not sure how I would get to them in the dark as far as trying to get myself into a good spot without busting deer out of fields and stuff like that. So, I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to be hard pressed to sit there in that area again tomorrow night. Problem is, if they've been pressured in that spot, it's only maybe a mile of river bottom, and they've got fields and river bottom to the east, fields and river bottom to the west. So there's nothing there that they have to have that they can't get somewhere else. So I think the hunting pressure has probably pushed them off. I was hoping that by coming in Wednesday and Thursday that the weekend's hunting pressure would have relieved some, but it just doesn't look that way. And with that cut corn, when I walked by it, there's no kernels of corn laying anywhere. When that corn got cut, it got picked up completely. There was just nothing on the ground. So like I said, there's no good reason for them to be there, that they can't get the same stuff somewhere else without people. So, and me not knowing where to go in the morning and it going to be really cold might give me a reason to sleep in, but I doubt that'll happen. I'll get up. Even if I go back to this other place, if I don't see anything there, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 times, 4 hunts and not seeing anything. That would just tell me I need to move on. I thought that place would be where to be because that's where I saw the whitetail in November, but cut corn, hunting pressure, I think they've moved on.